Jay here from Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm not outside Old Trafford. I'm not in the studio. I'm in my kitchen. There's a reason for that. Usually on a Friday, I'm outside Old Trafford, but we're going to be back later on this evening. We're going to have the brew in the afternoon. Then we're going to be back later on this evening for the Euros opener. So make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. We want us to get to 800,000 subscribers, and we want you guys to join us for the Euros. We're going to be covering some of the games, doing watch-alongs, doing previews, all that sort of stuff. So get involved. But we are a Manchester United channel, so let's focus on the team that matters, Manchester United. And it was all popping off last night, wasn't it? With David Ornstein doing a tweet around sort of yesterday evening. Let me try and see what exact time it was. 7:10. Yes, I was just coming back from Nando's. In fact, no, actually, I was just going to Nando's. Other restaurants are available. He said, Liverpool and Man United actively pursuing deal to sign Lenny Yoro from Lille. Liverpool and United see Real Madrid as favourites, but pushing hard for 18-year-old centre-back viewed as unique market opportunity separate to other targets. PSG keen too. Now, we've spoken about Lenny Yoro quite a lot, or Yenny Loro, as he was called in the Express. Obviously, well sought after, 18 years old, had a very, very good spell at Lille. He's only, 18, and he's already played. He played 44 games last season for them, 15 games before. The fact that you've got PSG, you've got Real Madrid, you've got the Scousers looking at him tells you all you need to know. He's obviously very talented. He's someone that United are right to be pursuing. We'll have to wait and see if anything comes of that, of course, because with so many other clubs sniffing around, it's going to be pretty difficult to convince him to come and play in the Europa League at Manchester United. Yes, we are one of the biggest clubs in the world, and I'd certainly say we're bigger than the likes of PSG and Liverpool. Debatable whether we are about Real Madrid. You may say we are. I think we are. You may disagree. However, it is going to be tough because it's a bit of a hard sell. Like, never mind pushing hard. It's a bit of a hard sell. But if we can get him, fantastic. If not, I think we're just going to have to bite the bullet on that one and say, okay, it wasn't meant to be. It's not one where I'm going, I can't believe we couldn't get that deal over the line, because, it's going to be a bit of a tough one. But we'll see. It'd be a great statement from INEOS if they're able to sign someone like Lenny Yoro, an 18-year-old centre-back who's wanted by so many different clubs. One centre-back, it looks like we are, I wouldn't say close to getting, but in the running to getting, and it looks like it's going to happen sooner rather than later, or it could happen sooner rather than later, is Jarrad Branthwaite. Now, the Times ran this story last night. Manchester United agreed terms with Branthwaite as an Everton demand 70 million quid. And I think it was the wages are around 150 to 160 grand, which United have agreed with Branthwaite. And that to me seems about right. A lot of money for a young lad. But if you look at some of the wages we've given out in the past, I think Jadon Sancho's on about 300k. I think Marcus is on about 350k, maybe even more. We've always had sort of the top earners in the Premier League. A lot of them have been Manchester United players. You go back a little bit further. David De Gea, I think, was the most highest paid goalkeeper in history. Paul Pogba was one of the highest paid midfielders in history. So we've always paid the sort of the top end, and even now we still are. However, it looks like INEOS are going to say, look, let's rein that in a little bit, and we can still pay big money, but not silly money. So 150, 160k for the kid makes sense. The £70 million I find really worrying. I did a tweet last night, a post on X, and I just asked the question, what's the absolute most United should pay for Branthwaite before we walk away from the deal? Muppeteers, one of the first ones, says 50 million plus add-ons for potential. He's rated very highly by both Everton and United people, but I think that's a fair price for potential. Ronaldo Brown says 50 million. He's watched him quite a few times. I mean, Branthwaite is obviously a very good player. I think he's a left-footed centre-back, innit? It's bizarre to me that he's not gone to the Euros, because I don't think we've taken any, or England have taken any left-footed centre-backs. Now, we was having this discussion at Nando's yesterday. I'm not plugging Nando's, by the way. I'm just telling you what happened. Where I was saying about Branthwaite, me and my mates, and someone brought up the fact, well, he's not even in the England squad. Are we really going to go after a player who can't even get into the England squad? And the counter-argument to that, which is one I made, was that's only Gareth Southgate's opinion. That's what he's saying there. If someone's not in the England squad, you just say, well, Gareth Southgate doesn't think that highly of them. Is that enough for you to say, we're not going to buy that player? Southgate doesn't rate him, or doesn't think he's ready yet, so we're not going to buy him. It's not for me. I don't think that should matter whether he's in the England squad or not. I mean, he has played for England. I think he's got one England cap. But I think that's actually a bit of a mistake from Gareth Southgate. I'm surprised he took someone like Lewis Dunk, for example, and not taking Branthwaite. Now, the best way to sort of measure how good a player is, I feel anyway, is to chat to the fans of the players' club. And Evertonians, from what I've seen online, have been going mad at the prospects of losing him. They're saying you should be paying 70, 80 million for him. He's mint. We will chat to a few Evertonians. We've got one on the channel tomorrow. Matt Dempsey, I think, is coming on. I'm going to chat to him. We also chat to the Blue Room and the Toffee Blues. I think we chat to them as well. We talk. Or is it Toffee TV? I was getting the names mixed up. Forgive me. Sorry, lads. But we always chat to Evertonians, so we will do that. We'll do a bit of a scout report. Branthwaite, very good player. Would slot in. I don't know what the sort of thinking is there. Is it going to be Branthwaite and Martinez playing together? You know, two. I think Martinez, that'll be two left-sided centre-backs, wouldn't it? Or left-footed centre-backs. Or are you going to just... Are you happy with that, or is he going to be a sort of backup? I don't know. You do need options at centre-back. You look at City, every summer, they go out and they buy a centre-back almost. And they've got like a sort of, revolving door in their squad when it comes to centre-backs. Sometimes it's Akanji, sometimes it's Diaz, sometimes it's Stones, sometimes it's Nathan Ake can even play at centre-back. I mean, I think he's a centre-back by trade, actually, anyway. So it works for them. I'm not saying we should just copy Manchester City, but you do need options. And you look at last season where at one point we had Casemiro at centre-back. Another point we had Casemiro's played at centre-back. We've had Amrabat at left-back. We've had Amrabat, I think, playing all over the gaff. I mean, it was a bit of a shambles. So you obviously need some reinforcements. We've lost Raphael Varane, who was a first-choice player. Let's not forget, when he was fit, he usually played in the FA Cup final. He did very well. So we need to bring in a centre-back. That, for me, is a priority. A centre-back, and I think a left-back as well, and a centre midfielder, and a striker. It's a lot in it. Those are the four positions I think Manchester United have to prioritise. I don't think there's a way around that. I don't think we can go into next season without signing at least 4 players. Genuinely. We need a left-back. We need a centre-back. Well, at least one centre-back, probably 2. We need a central midfielder, and we need a striker. We need backups to Rasmus Højlund. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. The sticking point now is going to be the fee. Sky running with it. Manchester United expected to make formal approach for Everton defender. So it looks like the terms have been agreed. It's just that formal approach. United are going to have to decide whether we are going to spend 50, 60, 70 million. For what it's worth, I think United should pay 50 million, maybe 5 million in add-ons, and that's it. I think we've got to get out of this thing of 60 million all the time. 60, even more. We've paid what? Harry Maguire was 80, Pogba 89, Lukaku 80. I think we've sort of moved away from that a little bit, but not much. I mean, Sancho was 73. We need to stop paying over 60 million for players. And I think if there's a different sort of narrative that forms, if a player costs 50 million quid, if you go, say 50 million and 5 million add-ons, say that, you go, okay, 50 million pound player. I don't think people expect as much or hammer him as much if he has a bad game if he's a 70 million pound player. 70 million pound defender, all of a sudden you expect him to be the best in the league or whatever, which is nonsense. But that's kind of what happened with Harry Maguire. People looked at him and went, 80 million, most expensive defender ever. He must be the best defender in the world. Otherwise, he's failed. He costs more than Virgil van Dijk. He's got to be better than Virgil van Dijk. It's not how football works, man. Come on, we all know that. So yeah, I just feel like the best thing would be if Manchester United got him for around 50 to 60 million. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know what you think about Jarrad Branthwaite. Is he the answer? Also, just one last one. It looks like Greenwood could be heading to Juve, but that's what we had the other day. It says here in the evening news, Fabrizio Romano has reiterated fresh reports from Italy claiming that Juve have, in fact, not tabled a £40 million bid for Mason Greenwood. He adds, though, that such an offer could be tabled if Matthias Sule is moved on. The right winger is reportedly of interest to West Ham and is priced at £33 million. Federico Chiesa is also expected to leave Turin, but his departure could take longer. So, if Sule goes to West Ham, that could free up the dough for Juve to buy Mason Greenwood. And we know why Mason Greenwood's not in the United squad at the minute, or it looks like we're trying to move on. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back later on today. I'm Motty. This has been the Paper Talk. Looking out the window, it looks like it's pretty mild in sunny Salford. Thanks for watching.